In this video, I'm going to share with you an exam day checklist consisting of 8 reminders to help you remember, hopefully, a lot of what you've learned through the videos on YouTube, social media, and even maybe by fellow vets, so you can walk into that exam with confidence and crush it. This is going to be a fast-moving and power-packed video, so please watch all the way to the end. Number 8, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do if you get a bad examiner and have a bad examination. There is a safety net. Would you please consider subscribing to my channel and helping me continue to grow? Also, consider liking this video, sharing it with any other veterans you think it may benefit, and please drop me a comment. I'd love to hear from you out there watching the video. I've heard from vets watching from the Big Island of Hawaii, all over the US, Germany, the Philippines, and a couple of days ago, a vet watching from Thailand. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, it's all about the nexus. Remember, the word nexus means link. This is not a treatment appointment. This is not a therapy appointment. It's an evaluation. So we need to have that mindset. Get into that exam day mindset. You've got a current illness, a current disability. You believe it started in service. And so this examiner is here to determine, is there a link that it could be called service connected? And then if so, how bad is it? And that'll determine the rating percentage. Your job is to stay focused on the nexus. Number 2, bring the receipts. Before the exam, make sure everything you need updated in your claim file has been uploaded. All of your patient summaries, your doctor diagnosis, any statements in support of a claim, buddy letters, you want to be able to say during the exam, that's already in my file. You want to anchor your statements back to your claim file. I also encourage you to do what I did, and that is prepare a folder for each appointment. And in there, I made hard copies of my patient summaries. I circle the doctor diagnosis, the name, the specialty, the date, and I highlighted it. And I had all of that in a folder to give me evidence at my fingertips. Now, are the examiners supposed to, or do they typically look at your hard copies? No, I actually didn't have anyone look at my hard copies. However, I did multiple times. I was able to say, I have my doctor report right here. Could I read you what they wrote? And I was able to say, Dr. such and such of this specialty on this date said this about my condition. And this was 2 months ago. And they did allow me to read it, and they did listen. I also encourage you to get a Ziploc bag. This is under number 2, bring the receipts. Get a Ziploc bag and put all of your prescription bottles, medication, whatever you take in that Ziploc bag. It's proof of ongoing treatment. I brought that to my exams where it was appropriate or applied. And in one specific exam, I sat down and the nurse practitioner, the first thing she did was grab the Ziploc bag out of my hands. Now, it was a bag of potatoes. I mean, it had a lot of bottles in it. She grabbed it out of my hands and literally just started reading it off and asking me about this condition and what that condition, how long I've been taking it. So don't rely on your memory. Rely on evidence. Stay anchored to documentation. Number 3, show respect to the examiners, but avoid sucking up. Okay, you want to be polite. You want to be calm. You want to be professional. Respect earns trust. One form of respect is to be there early so that when your name's called, you step up. That's a sign of respect. But avoid flattery, sucking up, brown nosing, whatever you want to call it. It actually doesn't help. It can really hurt your case. And the reason being is it can look manipulative or like you're trying to cover up a lack of symptoms and this type of thing. So you don't want your condition distracted from. Keep the focus in the exam on exam day on your condition, not on trying to win favor. Credibility first. Number 4, make their job easy. The examiners are swamped. I know in some of my exams, one vet was coming out of the office. There were 7 or 8 in the waiting room. I was called in next. So what you want to do is make their job easy. Give clear answers. Clear answers mean fewer mistakes. I offered to read things out of my folder. I offered if they wanted to look at anything in my folder. I had my medication bag. And what you want to do is review the DBQ before your appointment and use examiner speak. use examiner language, okay? Most of us are not medical people, that's fine, but you want to talk in terms of the symptoms of your condition, the frequency of those symptoms, how often does it happen, and then the severity of those symptoms, how bad is it, and then also the impact to your work, your social life, your daily life because of that. Just to give you an example, a weak response when you're talking to this examiner is, my sleep is all over the place. That's pretty useless to them. A strong example of using examiner speak is, I wake up 4 to 5 nights a week. I can't sleep for 2 to 3 hours when I do, and I'm totally exhausted the next day. I have to call in sick for work, and I can't make it. Number 5, truth keeps you consistent. Okay, you want to avoid both exaggerating your symptoms or your condition or minimizing it. That loses credibility, especially when it conflicts with your claim file. Truth is your best friend. So you want to align your answers with your file and your notes. And the easiest way to do that is just to be honest, is just tell the truth. That'll stay the same throughout the process. Truth keeps you consistent. Consistency keeps you credible. One other thing I want to throw in under this, number 5, truth keeps you consistent, is also you want to avoid rambling. And, vet speak is diarrhea of the mouth. Okay, sometimes as veterans we could get nervous, or we can just start to want to give diarrhea of the mouth. We don't want to do that. We don't want to over-explain. What we want to do is just stick to that examiner speak that we talked about. Clear, concise responses are way better than long-winded rambling. So don't lose them in the noise. And then the DBQ is kind of spotty, or they really didn't know what to select. Number 6, let your records do the talking. Keep pointing back to your claim file. Records equal credibility. Documentation equals credibility. For instance, you can say, can I read this out of my file? Maybe my psychologist said I have nearly daily panic attacks despite therapy, medication not working. So quoting doctors beats relying on our memory and trying to make our case a lot of times in our own words. Number 7, don't leave anything hanging. Examiners are on a clock. Okay, they've got a lot of veterans to get through. Things can get skipped. So before leaving, what you can do is ask, did we cover everything important? And maybe just do a final check on that. Do you have everything you need on this condition? And if you know things were skipped, you could also say, would you mind if I mentioned a few things that I didn't get a chance to say? And you may say something like, I wanted to mention that my back pain is disrupting my sleep 4 to 5 nights a week. I know in my own case, when I had my mental health exam, and I said, I think about 2 or 3 of the things that I wrote down didn't get covered. Would you mind if I just went over my notes right here? I made notes because I knew I'd probably forget. And the examiner said, yeah, feel free to go over your notes. So I went over those, and I saw her typing while I was going over those notes. So don't leave without your key details covered. There may not be another chance at this. And then number 8, if you have a bad examiner, and I've heard from a lot of vets that have, if you've had a bad exam, and I've had 2 or 3 of those myself, there is a fix, and that is, according to the VA.gov, call the VA immediately. Call the 800 number, 800-827-1000, report it, request a new exam immediately, write a personal statement in support of a claim, say what happened, give all the details, let them know how you couldn't get your case across, keep it factual, upload it to your file immediately, call the contractor, QTC, VES, LHI, Optum, file your complaint and request a new examination. And then also, if you get any forms from that contractor, make sure you fill them out accurately. A bad exam doesn't have to sink your claim if you take action fast. So this is your C&P Exam Day Checklist. It's all about the nexus, linking current condition to in-service event. Bring your receipts. At a minimum, you could read them. Respect, but not sucking up. Make their job easy. Use examiner speak of symptoms, frequency, impact. The The truth will keep you consistent. Let your records do the talking as much as you can. Don't leave anything hanging. Before you leave that exam, make sure you leave it all on the field. You leave everything on the table for that examiner to consider. And if you have a bad exam, there is a fix according to the VA. If this video helped you, would you consider subscribing to my channel? Also, if you might consider liking this video, sharing it with anyone, and please drop me a comment. I try to respond to all comments. And like I said earlier, if you can, let me know where you're watching from. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.